Welcome back. It's time for the news schmooze.
William Steele seems like one of the nicest guys. Like if I was in a prison cell with him, I'd have a great time, actually. Feel like I'd have a good time with him. Just hang out. What do you think? What was your take on him? It's so crazy to me, these people
I was surprised that he doesn't know Navia because they're both very jovial, likable, bright, clever
criminals, ex-criminals.
But this guy is very Italian, Brooklyn.
Yes.
And the other is very Cuban, Miami.
Although
I love them both. We both love these characters. We love them more than any. We love more than any other of the normal characters.
I don't know. William has such a sweet way about him. I mean, I'm sure he's got another side that we haven't seen.
He even admits that he used guns and he's threatened with guns.
But honestly, there is a part of me that is always jealous of this because of their innovative thinking. Made millions of dollars, something I can't say for myself.
Joel, he just said that he had hardly any money to buy a car.
Well, that's after he got out of prison. But when he was
dealing in diamonds.
Yeah. On to the news schmooze. Buckingham Palace aides have reportedly rewarded a nursery. Reworded. I'm sorry. I'm shaken up over this whole. I can't get over what's going on. But in light of the fact that we were just talking about Prince Andrew, Buckingham Palace aides have reworded a nursery rhyme to mock Prince Andrew over his roughly $12 million settlement with former Jeffrey Epstein sex slave Virginia Roberts Giuffre. And it goes like this.
Okay.
The grand old Duke of York, he had 12 million quid. He gave it to someone he'd never met for something he never did. The new spin on the nursery rhyme goes. The lyrics refer to the disgraced royal's infamous 2019 interview with the BBC, in which he claimed to have no recollection of ever meeting Giuffre, despite a photo in which he was seen with his arm around the then 17-year-old at a now convicted Madame Ghislaine Maxwell's home. So this stuff is in the news as we speak. Do you believe that such powerful people are this disgustingly corrupt?
Very honestly.
Yeah. Do you have a hard time? Do you have a hard time believing it?
I feel I learned what Epstein was all about. I always have illusions still. Like I have to shed more.
Because they made it sound like he was like some brilliant investment mind.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah. That his money he did with investing and money, and it's all sex. I am kind of happy that sex is so important.
Sex sells, man. He was worth $500 million.
Sex is it.
Yeah. So we had the author.
By the way, it's better to make love than to make war. This is not with adolescents, not with teenagers.
So we had the author who spent, speaking of criminals, more than a decade with BTK. I thought this next story was pretty interesting in light of this. Michigan school shooter Ethan Crumbley.
Joel, if you don't hurry up, I'm not.
He shot up a school recently in Pontiac, Michigan. He said that he enjoyed listening to the death squeals of baby birds. He wrote about wanting to rape a female classmate and idolized cannibal killer Jeffrey Dahmer. The new revelations come from Oakland County Assistant Prosecutor Markeisha Washington during a lengthy hearing. In text threads with his friend, he outlined plans to stalk, rape, torture, and ultimately kill a female classmate. Crumbley said he admired both Jeffrey Dahmer and Adolf Hitler because, and this next part that I'm going to read, I can actually relate to. Because when you die, you need to be remembered for a long time. I understand that. I feel that way myself. What am I going to be remembered for? I have 3 children. Luckily, I didn't, express it in this manner by killing birds and listening to them squeal.
Using this venue.
Using this venue, but I do understand Ethan Crumbley's desire to be known. Other than that, I condemn everything he's done, for the record. On to this last story. This hits home personally. This is a wild, crazy, really actually shook me up. Conservative media personality Zoe Zozo Bethel. She was crowned Miss Alabama for a pageant known as America Strong. She died days after she fell out of the window of a 3-story building, according to the Miami Police Department. They responded to a possible suicide attempt on February 11th at 12 a.m. She was later identified as Bethel.
What is 12 a.m.?
Midnight. A week later, she died. The cause of her death was blunt force trauma. Why is this story so interesting to me?
Because
I was doing a
you
report.
Even told me about it. You told me
I
at
was
the time.
doing a report in downtown Miami in an area known as Brickell. And this woman, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before she was dead, 27, she walked up to me and said, "Excuse me, I'm trying to be a news reporter." I was with my photographer, Walter, who is better known to me as Chris Rock. He looks and sounds just like Chris Rock, the comedian. And as I was talking to her male friend, Walter was hitting on her unrepentantly. She's a beautiful young woman. She was Miss Alabama, stunningly pretty and very intelligent. And she said to me, "What should I do next about my reporting life?" And I said, try this and try this. 2 weeks later, dead, gone, forever. And I don't think she committed suicide.
I think.
And there's a lot of suspicion. There's a lot of suspicious circumstances surrounding this case.
Joel, by the way, you should call
First
the police.
They reported that it was
you
an
should
accident.
Call the police and tell them about this conversation, because this is another proof that she wasn't depressed or suicidal.
She was sweet, did not seem depressed. She had recently moved to Miami. She was a very religious woman. She's 27. And wow, it really freaked me out.
All right. Let's move on, because I'm sorry.
Is it possible that you can be alive 2 weeks ago and not be alive 2 weeks later?
Even an hour before you can be alive before you die.
May her memory be a blessing and may her family be okay. We'll be right back with 3 questions for Grandma.